Hey, everybody. Welcome to Office Hours. I am Elaine Pauly, the president of MagnaWave. I was not expecting to do Office Hours right off the bat today. My dad will be joining us. Pat Ziemer, founder of MagnaWave, will be joining us shortly. So if you have questions for him or for me, I am so excited to talk to you today. And we have so much going on. But first, let's go ahead and get started with where you're at. Tell me where you're at, what you're doing, where it's, aloha, Leilani. She's in Aiken. So if you're here, let me know where you're at and where you're from. I'd love to talk some more. And as always, comments, questions, anything you have to do, any questions you have about MagnaWave or anything that we can help you with, or just PMF in general, that is what today is here up for. So I'm super excited. Okay, so let's go through a couple things first, some housekeeping things. We also, hello, Terry. Hello from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Sarah is in Kutztown, Pennsylvania. David is in Indiana, watching from work. Hey, I'm streaming from work. So good job, David. I love Indiana. I am a Hoosier, born there. Okay, so I'm going to go through a couple things. First of all, we have some awesome stuff going on with MagnaCon, you guys. We have Dr. Sean McWilliams. He specializes in bulging discs. He is coming with a presentation to share with you all at MagnaCon. It's going to be amazing. So he's confirmed, as well as I believe like 6 or 7 other brand new speakers. So if you have not gotten your MagnaCon tickets, please go get them, because I guarantee that we will get to a place where we cannot sell anymore. So please go get your MagnaCon tickets, magnacon.com. There's a ton of information there. There's hotel rooms at the Galt House. It's going to be great. Again, we just got confirmed Dr. Sean McWilliams, who is a specialist in bulging discs, who will be speaking all about PMF, about bulging discs, about how you use PMF with bulging discs, and other types of issues as well, not just bulging discs, but that is his specialty. So, Leilani asked, how do you get tickets for the riverboat cruise that's on Friday. We'll post that link as soon as it's available. It might be on there. I know they were working on getting them, but don't worry. We have first right to all of those tickets. So they will be posted as soon as possible. Let's see. Hi, Hazel in Michigan. Oh, Cameron says, hello, Elaine. I'm at MagnaWave across the hall. Yes, I did just see you here today at work. All right, so I'm so happy you guys are here. So yes, we will have a riverboat cruise on Friday. Hi, Linnea Courtney. Hi, Sydney in Ohio. So we will have a riverboat cruise on Friday of MagnaCon. We have a whole new lineup of speakers. We have hands-on training as well for large animals, small animals, and people. It's going to be a truly unique event this year in a totally different place than we've ever had it. I am super excited because we also have a country singer. Oh man, JD Shelburne. I believe that's who he is. And he's performing Wednesday night. So like the first night, we're going to kick it off with like appetizers and some wine and some awesome music. So right in the heart of downtown Louisville. So I'm super excited for you all to see that. Oh, Riverboat Cruise is available. The link is right there. If you see Leilani, it's in the comments. So if you want to get your riverboat cruise, I was almost positive they got it last week, but I didn't want to speak out of turn. So they did get it. It's also on magnacon.com. So if you want to get your tickets, you can get your hotel room, and then you can reserve your spot on that riverboat on Friday night. I'm super excited about that. Okay. So hi, Dee in Idaho. Hi, Kelly in Pittsburgh. I've been to Pittsburgh. That's a beautiful place. All right. So next thing that I want to talk about is something that I'm really, we'll get there. I have a really exciting announcement. But before that, we are now offering financing on the LZR red light. So if you have not seen our LZR, it's amazing. We do have a new financing program through ClickLease, which is a fantastic company we've been working with. They will finance anything that you all want to buy. So if you're looking at purchasing a machine from us, or you're looking at getting an LZR, that program is now available. So reach out to your product specialist or email sales@mwpmf.com. We were not offering financing in the past, but we are now, again, for that LZR, sales@MagnaWavePEMF.com. I'm pretty excited about this LZR financing. And if you want to add in like a Wave Oasis or any of the products that you may have been really wanting and getting on a payment plan that's a little unique, more maybe what we didn't offer, they have some amazing, amazing programs that we have available now. Okay. Hi, Gary. How are you? Gary Kincaid is there. We got Jackie and Jeff. Hi, Lucille. Good to see you. Hi, Katie. Okay. Finally, and this one I'm really, really excited about. If you know me and you've heard me talking, then you know that I have always wanted, and my dad especially has always wanted, we've always wanted all of the attachments in our line to have the same plugs. So we are really big on like, if you buy one machine from us and you want to get a second one, and your attachments should kind of work with every machine. I really feel like that has been missing in the PMF world. And so we are on a mission to make that happen. So at this time, currently, we don't sell any machines that do not have 2-plug attachments. And over the years, we have sold other attachments, twist plugs and snap-in. They just have one plug that goes into the machine. So you may have one of those machines or seen one of those machines. So what we are starting tomorrow, is we are going to be doing what we call a trade-in program. And when I say that this is excellent, specifically for people who may have older machines, like 2, 3, whatever years old, we're offering an exclusive rate for you to trade in those machines. And so this is one of the older like plugs types. So this is, I think, a Semi 5. And again, you may have bought one of these last year. There's nothing wrong with this machine. You could keep using it. But if you have another machine or you want to get a second machine in the future and you want them to have the same attachments, then this is a Semi 5 Duo. So again, it uses that one plug. So you have to put two attachments in right there in the middle. But these machines that you are seeing pictured here are available for the trade-in program. And we are talking thousands of dollars off on upgrades. So the bigger, there we go. There's another one. I popped up for a second. That's a Semi 5 again. We also have, if you may remember, like just the low, medium, and high semis, the Semi 3, any of those. Oh, excuse me. I've never had my cell phone on during office hours. What a terrible, how did I do that? Let's stop that. Anyways, if you have any of these machines that have the one plug attachment and you are wanting to upgrade to a bigger machine and you're looking for an opportunity to do that, or you're thinking about doing it, starting tomorrow, we are going to have one of the greatest programs we've ever had for trading in these machines. Okay. So you'll be able to upgrade to one of our larger machines with the 2 plugs at unprecedented rates. Okay. And this will go for anybody who has one of these machines. Okay. If you have one of these machines and you want to trade it in, contact us. And how you're going to do that is out with the old, in with the new. Oh, I like that post. So just if you want information on this sale tomorrow, when all that information goes out, and you don't know if you're going to get it, or you don't know if you're signed up on our email list or whatever, please click the link in the comments right now. It's MagnaWavePMF.com/trade-in program. It's right there in the link. Click it, fill out the form in that link with the best way you want to be contacted. All the information is there. We will not be spamming you, but we will send you the information that you requested tomorrow with the pricing breakdown for how much goes towards each. Like if you have whatever machine you have, and then depending on the machine that you pick, we have like a little chart. So like how much money you can get off. But I will say it is the multiples of thousands. So it's fantastic. So let's see here. Let's see if we have questions. Health centers. Oh, hi, Phil. Let's see. Maureen says, all my attachments work with all my machines. The new twist plugs are better. I feel like the new twist plugs they just hold up better. It's much more universal. It's easy to fix them. If for some reason, like an animal pulls one out, you can have an electrician at home fix the ends. Like it's a universally a better way for these machines to function than in the past. And, they last longer. So let's just get in a way that you can use all these attachments across all your devices. And even if you don't want to upgrade and you don't want to have 2 machines that have 2 different attachments, but you just want to have a newer technology or a newer machine, then I would take advantage of this opportunity. Tanya says, this sounds amazing. I've been wanting to upgrade, but was worried about all of the attachments not working. I have the Semi 3 twist plugs. Yeah, Tanya, girl, the Semi 3 twist plugs is fine. Depending on the machine you want, you're going to get a huge discount. You're going to send back that machine and we're going to send you a new machine. It's great. There's great information. Great. It's just a great way for everybody to get the updated stuff and, be on the same page. Wendy asks, does the LZR need yearly service? No, ma'am. The LZR does not need any service requirements. If you want to if something happens, there is obviously a warranty and you could ship it to the factory and get it fixed and get it handled, which is usually a really quick process, but there's no yearly maintenance. Tammy, are the Julian duos ready now? I've been waiting. Yes, Tammy. The problem is that we had problem with getting the parts. It's not just the Julian Duos, it's all the machines. There was this thing, what was it called? The pandemic. It was terrible. And what happened was it allowed us, we could not source some of the main components for our equipment. We purchase everything here in the United States. We do not do things overseas, but a lot of people who purchase things overseas purchased everything from the same suppliers because they couldn't get their supply. So people we've been ordering from that had like a 6-week or even 4-week lag time, all of a sudden told us it was going to be 280 days until they could fulfill our orders. And that was terrible. Now we do have all of those components and we are making the machines, but it's obviously first come, first serve, and we are catching up as quickly as possible. But Tammy, we do have loaner devices available for anybody waiting. So if you would like one of those, you could email sales at MagnaWavePMF.com and we'll send you a loaner device while you wait. So that you can use that at, no additional cost to you. You have this machine to use. It may not be a Julian Duo, but it'll be a machine that you can use, you can learn to use and work with. Again, that's not costly. So if you would like to take advantage of that, that is something we are providing. And with the new machine trade-in, you would not need to return the machine that you're currently using until your new machine was ready. So you don't have to return it this week and then wait and not have a machine for a long period of time. Or if there's a 4-week lag time, that's fine. You keep your machine that you have right now. When your new machine is ready, we will let you know. You can send yours back. And then I believe we send you a label for it. You send it back to us and then we send you out your machine. It's a pretty awesome process. And that way you don't lose any time doing treatments. Nola says, I'm seriously about ready to buy my next device. Well, girl, you just wait till tomorrow or fill out that form and we're going to send you all the information that you need. Let's see. This is a great idea. Thank you, Stephanie. I don't know, Cameron, who you're talking to, but I think you're maybe talking to Tammy or the woman who asked about her machine and the Julia Duo. Tammy, that yours is due to ship on the 30th. So good news there. Okay. Sydney says, I'm super excited about the trade-in program. So am I, man. It's going to be awesome. I think the idea here is to, help everybody out and let's just make it as easy and flawless as possible. Mary Beth says, I went to work into a normal out in her home. It turned out, but wasn't working. I moved to another out. It worked fine. Has been working fine since. Thoughts? Okay. Mary Beth says, I went to work on a client last Friday, plugged my machine into a normal outlet in her home. It turned on, but wasn't working. I moved to another outlet. It worked fine and has been working fine since. Thoughts? Mary, I'm going to tell you exactly. I don't even have thoughts. I have the answer. Let me tell you what happened. Mary Beth, these machines, majority of our machines require an internally grounded outlet. And that is because it's the safest way for these machines to operate without causing any interference with any other machines around, okay, or any other electricity. This is required for most medical devices that work in any hospital or any medical place. What we found is that some people don't know that they have outlets in their home that are not internally grounded. And so those outlets do not work. The machine will turn on, it will not pulse. So when you move to an outlet that is grounded, it will work fine. So that's just something to remember. If you do, I recommend right now, anybody who has a machine that may have that and is going to barns and stuff where there might not be internal grounding, go ahead and get in the practitioner portal and get a Jackery from us. And then we have there it is. We actually have the latest sales on Jackery updated in our practitioner portal. Every single time there's a sale, those links update automatically. So if you want a Jackery and you want the best deal possible, go to our practitioner portal because they have been very kind and have worked with us to get you guys the best that we can get in terms of getting them on time and get it, availability. But go get one of these bad boys. I took this to Oklahoma and treated all weekend this weekend, but it's awesome. And then it charges up. It lasts for hours. It can run on your car like here. This is a great little commercial. I've never seen it. I just sit back and watch this. This is fantastic. But it will run your MagnaWave machine for hours and hours. It's rechargeable. And if you ever run into a point where the area isn't grounded, we have a special plug that goes into that Jackery that you can get at any time. It probably came with your machine, may have had a yellow end on it. Mary Beth, if it didn't, we'll send you one. Looks like that. So if you have something like that came with your machine, that is to be used only with that Jackery or any other type of internal power supply. So if you ever have a problem where your machine is not breaking, but not working in those internally because that outlet isn't grounded, instead of not being able to do work like a barn where the whole barn might not be grounded, which quite frankly, is a scarier situation, and maybe somebody should talk to an electrician, but then you would want to make sure to bring that Jackery along. When I go out of anywhere to treat, I take the Jackery with me, especially when I'm going out somewhere that's maybe a little bit more rural. But that was Maureen Boyle says, get a Jackery. That's right, Maureen, get a Jackery. Again, we have those links to the Jackery at the best pricing in the practitioner portal. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, Dee Dee, we're shipping all of the machines as soon as we can. People are asking, we had about a 3-month delay where we could not get the parts that we were needed. The only thing we could get parts for was the soles. So we built 1 million soles. We could not build anything else for that 3 months. It was terrible. It was probably one of the worst problems that we've ever had. Again, the supplier that is in the United States that we've used for years was cleaned out from companies that had used other overseas options prior. So, it was, a dog eat dog world there for a while, but we are fine. We're just trying to play catch up. And I really do appreciate everybody's consistency and patience as we try to catch up. But again, we do have a loaner program that if your customers would like to check that out, they can email sales and we'd be happy to get them out of machine because we did make several soles for that purpose. Okay. What else? Tammy says Cameron Rush is excellent. Look, Cameron. Tammy says you're excellent. Let's see. What else we got? Anybody got a questions? Maureen, just call me if you want to trade in your Maya. Just text me or message me. Right now it's for the semi 3, semi 5. But I mean, if you want to do all of them, we can work it out. You have too many machines to not work it out. So that option is there. We don't have that many of those old Mayas out there with the one plug, like you and maybe a handful of other people. So that's why we weren't significantly marketing that machine. But yes, we can work something out with you. Suzanne says, yes, the Jackery is the way to go. Did sessions right out the back of my vehicle this weekend at a show. That's what I'm talking about. It's great. I love it. I love the Jackery. Okay, there is okay, hold on. I got one more. I am going to what happened here? Yeah, can you guys see me? What happened? Oh, it disappeared. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. My computer just started freaking out. All right, so Pat is here. My dad is here. He is joining us to talk about some of the questions that we have. So, yay.
How are you doing?
How are you?
Great.
I like your new background.
Good. Thank you.
It's great. It looks good. It looks good. You're not just on the RV. I like it.
There you go. Hey, Amber asked the question. She thought the loaner was $100 a week. She's confused about what you just said.
Okay. Loaners are $100 a week if you are getting your machine repaired and you would like a loaner. But if you've purchased a machine from us and your machine is not ready yet, we do have a loaner program. Because of that long delay that we did get some of those machines available. But if you would like to schedule your repair of a machine, we do have those available. That does cost money to use those. So that is the way that works. Dad, we do have a question from Felicia. Why are the guidelines contradicting regarding when to treat broken bones? Courses say to wait 2 weeks and others say immediate sessions are okay.
Okay. And primarily, we established that 14-day period on horses. It was just out of safety. So what happens, and this happened years ago when we learned this, let's talk about a horse. You got a horse, they have a fracture, they have something going on. You put a magnetic boot on it, you put our machine on it, and you begin treating it, and you take it off in 2 weeks. The healing starts from the outside in, and they look good. All of a sudden, someone looks at it and says, oh, look, it's clean, it's healed, it's ready to go. And it's not healed all the way through. So we wanted to on horses because a person knows that I can't walk on my leg. They know that 2 weeks in, it's still very soft to the pressures that are exhibited. So we won't do that. You won't do that to your arm. But an animal doesn't know that. An animal will go, and a horse wants to go. So if you look at it, you examine it. Oh, gee, that looks clean. It looks like it's healed to me, and away you go. You could have some problems. So we said back then, at the advice of veterinarians, this was a veterinarian that we were working with that helped us put that plan together, was let it sit for a couple of weeks so it begins healing from the inside out. So then when you go to have a radiograph of it, you'll see that it's still not totally closed over at this point. And if it is, then you know that it's been coming from the inside out to as far as the healing process is concerned. So that's why we wait on animals. Let them get a good basis for healing. In reality, you don't have to do that. If we know that you're going to put it on, you're going to wait. It's normally 8 weeks and you're going to wait 6, and you're going to take a picture and you're going to have a doctor tell you that you think you're ahead of the healing process. That's fine. But unfortunately, people didn't do that. They'd have a fracture. They'd wait 3 weeks. They'd take a radiograph. Oh, we're good. And away they go, and they weren't ready yet. That's why we said on animals, let's just wait a little bit. Humans, you know when you're sore. You put a boot on somebody and you take that boot off in a week and it's still not healed, it's going to hurt and you're going to stop walking. So that's why we did that.
Well, that makes sense. And Amber, I do want to address, Amber asked again, yes, your machine was stolen, and what probably happened, Amber, is her machine was stolen and she's being charged the once a week because you probably wanted a machine right away. And so, yeah, if you buy a machine, we usually want to wait like where it's 4 to 6 weeks after that machine is ordered. Then you have the availability for that loaner. So at this point, if you wanted one that day, then you would have been charged because you needed it because you already had a business going, then you would have been charged. But anybody who's been waiting over that 6 weeks, then we're able to offer that to them. So I can talk to Lee and look into it for you and see where you are on the rental. And then we can, pause it from that 6 week mark. Okay, so let's go. Any more questions? How are you doing? You just celebrated a big birthday, Dad.
I did. Had a big birthday last week. We had a lot of fun, and had some green libations.
Yeah, because Patrick, who was born on St. Patrick's Day.
That's right. That's right. So we had a big time.
That's great.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I talked about earlier was that we are changing. We're now having a process for the LZR to do a financing for the LZR through ClickLease is now available, as well as we have some changes coming to the affiliate registration form in the next few weeks, and we've booked Dr. Sean McMillan, who specializes in bulging discs, for MagnaCon this year to talk about bulging discs and how to work with PMF. So I'm super excited about having him. And then also we have the link now for people to book not only their tickets for MagnaCon and their hotel, but also that Friday night riverboat cruise, which is super exciting for MagnaCon. Are you excited for MagnaCon this year?
I am excited for MagnaCon. I can't wait.
I know it's going to be great.
It's a busy week for me. I'm going to be in Florida for 3 days at a conference at the Four Seasons Hotel in Miami. Then I'll come right back home and get involved with MagnaCon, of course. And as you know, there's a lot of stuff going on with rodeos, and we're starting to make some inroads into the NASCAR world, and might get to go to some races this summer to do some work with some of the racing teams. So that's exciting. Yeah,
we're definitely going to some races. That's great. Okay, if you have any questions, please let us know. If you have any questions about MagnaWave, MagnaCon, PMF in general, LZR, whatever you got, we would love to hear your questions.
I do have a question I'd like to address, Elaine, and it was in the practitioner portable, talking about the Horse Europe, the Beamer Horse Europe machine, where they're showing a device on a horse and they talk about reducing blood. Well, let me just read what they say, if I can see that. Horses lie deeper under anesthesia. Anesthetic and medication administration can actually be reduced during the general anesthesia. The horse can recover more quickly. This is great news for veterinarians and owners. And they're doing a study associated with that. They imply in that particular release. I went to try to look at the study, and it's not translated, and it's I guess it's in German or some other language that I don't know, that I don't understand. But I will go back, and we cover this in our training, and it's there, and I've been talking about it for years. Is that if we've always known that if you use PMF therapy prior to surgery, you're going to help with the constriction of the blood vessels, and you're going to allow them to have bleeding a little more easily controlled. We've experienced this on the veterinary side, where people get very confused, and we need to really address this. Is they say PEMF increases blood flow, increases blood pressure. It does not. It improves blood flow. It improves, in fact, can be shown to lower blood pressure, but it's not as, and it really gets confusing when someone says, well, why would do this? Because we're going to increase the blood flow. That's not the case. It improves the blood flow. The reason we don't apply when there's a bleeding situation, if you improve the vascularization and you improve the blood flow, you're not doing anything to stop the bleeding. So it doesn't mean that they're going to bleed more profusely. It's just not going to allow the body as easily to go through the coagulation process and to stop the bleeding. So we always say, don't treat until the bleeding is under control. Once the bleeding is under control, you're in good shape. Now, when you talk about the doctors in Europe maybe using a PEMF device during surgery to help regulate some of that and to regulate the amount of anesthesia that's being used, yes, there is an improvement with PEMF on the absorption of the anesthesia, but in some cases, you want to control how much is being absorbed. So there's a lot of factors there that you'd have to weigh out that particular comment before you can say that that's in stone, if you will, to see how the ultimate study plays out. I mean, if that's the case and the study is good, then all PEMF equipment will be able to be very effective in that type situation. We do know that going into surgery, if you treat, you get the blood normalized, you get the oxygen in a good state, and then you go into surgery, you can see reduced bleeding. That's been shown to occur. And so there's a lot more that needs to be done before someone actually puts that in stone. But it's an interesting concept. It's a concept that we have talked about for years. And we also know that immediately after surgery, if you want to reduce scarring or the buildup of scarring, PEMF has been very beneficial for that as well. And there was a question to that end a couple of weeks ago that we can address at some point, but with regard to scarring. But I just wanted to cover that with the PEMF during surgery.
Okay, great. Thank you. Leilani asks, can we get a one-pager on rental machines for polo stables and other independent owners that are interested, including training liability, monthly rental fee, etc.? Your thoughts. So Leilani, the thing is that we don't set a rental fee for what you charge. So we don't have a lot of that because every practitioner has the right to charge whatever they want for the rental machines. And we don't recommend that you have the customer renting from you get liability. We recommend that you get liability to rent machines. And that is in our practitioner portal. So you can get information that we offer that we charge for rentals for you to then rent out. That's why it's rent to rent. So what you would rent out the machine would be different than what we would be out, and everybody's changes. Some people, they rent out for $250 a week. Some people are even more than that. So that's where you want to figure out that. That's why we don't really have anything. Now we do have some graphics, rent a machine for me or offering MagnaWave rental machines. That's there. But in terms of the training and the liability and the monthly rental fee, that's really on the practitioner to do that training. We do provide a very basic video that explains how the machine is operated, but we don't recommend that you would rent this machine to someone to then run a business themselves. You would rent this machine to someone who wanted to use it for just their animals, not necessarily them to run a business. You would not want them to do that under your liability. So that's why we don't really have one of those one pagers, because it varies by each person. Misty asks, is there a deadline to purchase MagnaCon tickets? Misty, yes, the last week in May, the first week of June, first day in June is the last day to purchase those tickets. And Sarah says, Great American Insurance offers that type of liability, I believe. And yes, Sarah, in our practitioner portal, we have a list of all the people that we've worked with so far for any of the liability or even machine insurance that you would like to get. All right. Carly, can you see my questions? No, Carly, I don't see it. Oh, there we go. Oh, I found it. Okay, I lost you. I'm so sorry, Carly. My dad, this is a good one for you. IVDD in dogs. I have a new client I'm going to see on Thursday and will love some input if you have worked on a dog with this before. I don't know what that acronym stands for.
Go ahead and get something and give me just a second.
Okay, so my dad's going to do a little research. So Carly, we can see your question and we will be right back to you. But one of the great things about MagnaCon this year, if you can come, I'm telling you, please do. It is an expense, but I promise you that you're getting way more than than most shows. We are going to Churchill Downs. We're going to have that riverboat cruise. We're going to have the tons and tons of packed in education. I've actually never spoken to anyone that has regretted coming, knock on wood, because it's just a fantastic time with like-minded individuals. So if you are on the fence about coming to MagnaCon, if you are struggling to get your business started, if you're struggling with anything like that, MagnaCon is a great refresher. Also, speaking of business starting, you can get next month's business starter class. It's about 4 weeks. That is available now. So if you're a practitioner and you would like to take my 4-week business starter class, I would, love for you to do that. It's a great experience and a great way for you to, learn the ins and outs and get some confidence in the marketing there. All right, you got it? You're in.
IVDD, intervertebral disc disease. Basically, it's a herniated disc situation in an animal. The quicker you find it and treat it, the doctors will treat with non-invasive methods of inflammation reduction to allow the body to heal in those type situations. So certainly the thing that got us into this business was my wife's herniated discs and how we were able to give her some relief. What you're looking for is pain relief. Sometimes, depending on, as with humans, sometimes surgery is required depending on how bad it is and how hard you work your animal. If it's a pleasure animal or something that doesn't stress and do a lot of work, you may be able to treat it totally with non-invasive methods, i.e. PEMF, and be able to live a very functional, normal type of existence. If you're in a situation where you're jumping and you're competing and you're doing things, you need to control that and the vascular and the muscles around that area so you have good containment. Surgery may certainly be required. And then at that point, the PEMF can speed the healing process and allow for the smooth performance of the healing after the surgeries. But certainly we've done a lot of work with veterinarians over the years with back issues, herniated discs, kissing spines, all of that type of stuff that you might want to deal with your clients. No question, no problem.
Excellent. And I have a couple other questions about MagnaCon, but I'm going to ask another one that goes better with what you just talked about. And then I'll get to those MagnaCon tickets. Shawnee says, she has a max and a semi 10. And at what level does the penetration reach between 14 to 16 inches deep? I had a client ask and was confused myself. So maybe you could explain about the different types of tissue and how that works.
Basically, a lot in a pure situation there, we can sit back and talk about, and there's all kinds of numbers over the table. You can take a magnetic signal and it'll pass through anything but lead, and you can see that it has the capability of penetrating easily, let's just say 25 to 40 inches as it goes. Now, resistance changes that. So when you go into a muscular situation with moisture and thickness and so forth, you're going to reduce that type of penetration. And that's the issue with the lower powered devices. It's not an issue, but they work at the cellular level, at the surface, at the capillary area, and what they call microcirculation. So they're working in the microcirculation.
You mean the beamer. So when you're talking about lower power, you mean the beamer. You're not meaning like the semi 10.
No. And
Right.
I'm talking about a low power machine that only gets to 35 or 50 Gauss, and you're working with the microcirculation of the body. The theory there is work with the microcirculation, and it's like a dripping piece of water on your carpet. Eventually, your carpet's going to totally be wet. But if you're able to contain it more rapidly, you're going to have that situation take care of. With ours, when you get up into the thousands of Gauss, you're talking about a much deeper penetration. So we're going into the deep tissue immediately and being able to work from that type of position. Now, difference between a semi 10 and a Julian or a Max or whatever someone may be doing, you're only talking about a difference in power. The fact that with the Julian machines, when you're working on the torso and you're using larger loops, you never get to the highest power. You're somewhere in the mid-range. And so you can take a semi 10 and go to a higher power, which is the mid-range or higher on some of those more powerful units, and you're going to get the same type of result. The difference is going to come when you're working on a hoof or a knee or an ankle, and you want to go in there with a lot of Gauss and a lot of energy right now, and you're going to do it for 10 minutes on a Julian or a Max, those types of devices, whereas on a semi 10 or something, you might go 15 minutes because you just don't have that higher level of Gauss. That's it. The signals are the same. The response to the cellular level is the same, but you're simply the power of the machine. It's like a fire hose. You take a fire hose, they're big. They're 2 or 3 inches in diameter. Your hose is only a 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch in diameter. They can put out a fire a lot easier than you can, but you can put out a fire. So that's the only difference, and only on specific areas. On an overall treatment area, you take a Semi-10 and a Julian, and you put the large wave wings on, you're not going to turn that Julian anywhere in terms of any
But you're going to penetrate all the way in.
That's right. That's exactly
right.
right.
And I think that's what she means, right? I think that's what she means is like, when is it penetrating? And it is from the, like with our higher power machines, we're penetrating all the way, like very, very deep from the start of the machine starting to click.
They're all penetrating. They all have that capability, even the lower powered machines. It's just the flow of energy that's going into that penetration. Again, look at a fire hose. With a fire hose, you're going to get it in there. With a garden hose, you're going to get there. It's just going to take you a little longer. With a low power machine like a beamer, it's going to take you much longer because you're working at the capillary level.
Then you're just throwing a glass of water on the fire and filling it back up.
Yeah, and that's not to criticize. That's just to giving you the differences in the strengths of the various devices.
Yeah, because that's the thing that is so amazing about PMF is PMF works. And sometimes people get into these things about low power and high power. And in reality, what's happening is we are selling high power fire hoses. Okay. That's what we're selling all across the board. Some are smaller than other, but it's still a fire hose and it's still there. And then there are other companies that are just selling garden hoses. And those garden hoses don't not work, but they're just going to take longer to get the job done. And so that's a fantastic way to work on it. Now that I'm stealing that. Stealing that forever. Thank you, Dad. And it's just a great way to look at it and to worry about the penetration of like 14 to 16 inches or whatever. What the bottom line is, don't worry about it. It's penetrating all the way through. It's every body is so different, like physical body, that it really is what may be comfortable one day may not be comfortable the next day. They may need more strength. So what is comfortable, the body is going to take that energy and use it where it needs to go, whether it needs to go 14 or 16 inches or wherever. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. Okay. That was a great, I loved the carpet one too. I've got they're in my head forever. Of those, that was a great way to explain it, Dad. Okay. Is there a deadline to purchase MagnaCon tickets? Or I already said that one. Is there a deadline for the online tickets? I believe there is, Becky, and it's like the week before. The reason being is that this is going towards your certification, and we send you specific logins and get you into our mobile app. So if you are trying to do that on the day of the show while we are all at MagnaCon, there's a good chance you're going to miss some stuff. So we just wanted to finish at least a week in advance so that we could get everything in the system. And make sure that you have access to everything with the right passwords. We just want you to get in there and be ready to go. The mobile app will come out, sooner rather than later. You'll be able to log into that mobile app and be able to interact with everybody who's coming to MagnaCon. The virtual people will be able to talk to everybody. And then the live people will not only get to talk to everybody, but also will get all the push notifications. There'll be some competitions in there. And again, virtual tickets have one entry to win a machine. So if you are a certified practitioner and you have to get recertified this year, it costs $150. If you're a certified practitioner and you want to go do the virtual, not only is it $150, but you also are getting recertified and you're getting entered to win a machine. So if I were you, you get all the benefits of learning and getting that certification for the same price, but then you get to keep those recordings and watch them after MagnaCon, which again, that's great. And secondly, you get to, get entered to win a MagnaWave machine. And who doesn't want to win a MagnaWave machine? Okay. Patty asked about existing business with high liability coverage, and she's wanting to do the rental machines. Patty, what I would only do is maybe speak to your insurance company. If you decide to do a rent to rent with us, just adding the rent to rent onto your like the machine itself coverage, so that if it's lost, stolen, or destroyed by someone renting it, because you already have high liability, I wouldn't worry about it. But in terms of the machine being lost or stolen, you want to register that with your insurance company, so that if it's stolen out of somebody's car that you're renting it to, or whatever happens to it, you are covered for that. We also have the ability for you to do that through a company that we've worked with. I believe it's like $45 a month on top of the rental, but you are covered if the machine is lost or stolen. So that is available through us as well. And then, okay, so Lisa Marie says, where can we get significant other tickets for the excursions at MagnaCon? I'm thinking about bringing my husband. Lisa, you can go ahead and get the ticket right now for the riverboat cruise. It's not very expensive at all. In terms of, we put together a ticket for your significant other if you want to do the Churchill and the Wednesday night event. So if they want to come to Churchill and do the Wednesday night event, all you need to do is email support@magnawavepmf.com or reach out to one of your product specialists, and they can send you a quote over for those, what they want to do. So they'll be able to come to Churchill Downs with you, ride on the bus, everything. We'll send you a customized quote for that, and do all of those events. But that ticket for the Riverboat Cruise is completely separate. So that is something that we aren't prepaying for because we don't know how many people are coming. So if you would like to join us on that, you could buy that ticket through that link. It's not required. Everybody's saying how much they love MagnaCon, Dad. The people like it. They really like it. Okay, here we go. Dad, how does PMF help degenerative disc disorder? And this is a good one. It helps my husband.
That's pretty much the same thing we were talking about earlier. As some people are so inclined, or some animals are so inclined, that the discs begin to degenerate and they start having issues. It's much like arthritis. When we can't do anything to break down the calcium that's built up on a joint that becomes arthritic, we can help keep the inflammation of the nerves and the blood vessels under control around that buildup of calcium. However, what we can do in an animal's joint, or whatever type of joint we're talking about, by having improved blood flow, improved oxygenation, the body's in a better situation to not build up that calcium. We can then use whatever you're using, medication or the diet or whatever it may be, to kind of control that calcium buildup. Same thing in a degenerative disc type of situation. We're not going to reverse what's degenerated. We can allow it to be stabilized and to be in a more healthy state in its condition. If it can heal back, then we're going to allow the body to better be able to perform that kind of function. So disc disease is disc disease, and it's in many different descriptions on how it goes. Again, sometimes it's required for surgery. Sometimes we can just keep things at bay. My wife has never had surgery on her back with her 3 herniated discs. And once every 2 years, she goes and sees a doctor, and maybe it's a new somebody new in the office, and they do an x-ray and they just look at her and say, "How did you walk in here? How are you doing this? What are you talking about?" "Well, your back." "Well, I keep the inflammation down. It's not getting any worse. We're just controlling what is there." And so that's what can happen with degenerative disc disease. If the body's in a position that it can heal, whether it's through surgical issues or medication issues, we can help that along.
Yeah, I've seen that alone, with Joe, my husband. He has degenerative disc disease, and he has never had to have surgery. And it's been incredible on how much it's helped him, as to not progress any worse at all, and to manage that inflammation and that pain is amazing. Margie says the same thing. She says, "My dog has herniated discs. MagnaWave kept him from having to have surgery. He started with 2 to 3 treatments a week. Now is down to 1 every couple weeks or more. If he shows signs, he needs another one. He is back to running. I try to limit high jumping." And that's part of it, Margie. What she said there is like, try to limit high jumping. If you have degenerative disc disease, or you have, an issue with, bulging discs, if you can get it under control, but then you go out and play like 12 rounds of tennis or whatever, you're gonna irritate that area again. So managing, that healing time and what's going on in that body is just as important as doing these sessions and eating right and drinking water. I think that sometimes people think, "Oh, this is going to be a fix-all. My dog's going to feel better forever." And in reality, your dog can't feel better forever, but you can't then have him go out and run sprints and jump high and not expect that he needs a little bit more love and a little bit more attention in that area. And people don't think about that. So Maureen Boyle, she has several machines. She said, "All my machines are equally effective." And I think that was to your point that you were saying, Dad, about the different machines. They are equally effective. It's about the time. And, if you want to have a business and treat several animals at a lot in a day, and you want to be able to treat, 10, 12, whatever, horses or small animals or whatever in a day, and you want to get those done quickly because this is your business, and that's when we recommend that you go to some of those larger machines. But I also have some of the smaller machines with, farriers that are working with horses, and they don't need a max because they're maybe doing 2 or 3 treatments, and they'll put it on one hoof while they're working on another, and they're able to really get the same results because they're not in any more of a hurry. They have other work to do.
Perfect.
Nola asks, are the devices going up in cost? If I don't do the swap, I will just buy a new one. Nola, the devices are going up in cost. We just tremendously across the board. I think everybody's seeing this with inflation right now. Everything costs so much more, and the availability. Plus, we're doing some really big upgrades to our machines over time that we've been really working towards, and we've kind of been, as we've done those upgrades, no pricing has changed. So in reality, yes, we will be raising prices, and it's not going to be a significant, like, giant price, but it is going to be a price change. Like, we're not going to go from like 9 to 20. Okay, so
Yeah.
forget about that. So Lisa says also dates to send it. Wait, you probably said something else, Lisa, and I don't know where it is, but I'm going to just also dates to send in machine for repair calibration to take home from MagnaCon. I don't quote me on this, but I believe it is May 24th is the day that it needs to be sent in to us to be able to be what?
In-house that date?
Yes, as we shipped in-house, checked in to us by May 24th for you to pick it up at MagnaCon. Now you can drop off to MagnaCon to be repaired. Like, you could bring it in, but it will ship back to you in the 2 weeks after MagnaCon. So as we work our way through those, we'll repair them and ship them back to you at no cost. So that's your two choices. And if you want more information, magnacon.com, all of that information for the repair program. We used to allow people to bring them. That was completely overwhelming last year. We had just in one day, we had like 20 people who want to just change out knobs and clean this up. And it was like little things, but we were unable to meet that Well, actually, we did meet that expectation, but I thought everyone in manufacturing might kill me. So that's why we have this situation that we have now. We don't want to stress anybody out. So that's
Hey, we have a question from Kathy. She asks, when treating disc issues or treating lower and longer, it depends on the customer. We've always said treat to the level of comfort. So my wife, for example, treats her discs now at a much higher setting than she did at the beginning. And we varied it at the beginning. So we gave her as much energy as she could feel or as she could accept comfortably to that area. And when we were treating her, we only had the max. And so we had a huge range of energy levels that we could change. But I would say today, from 1 to 10, she treats herself at a 7 or 8 whenever she's using that. Now, that may be totally different for somebody else. It's the level of comfort. We want to provide as much energy we can that is comfortable.
That's great. And so we got a couple other questions. Can you purchase online tickets if you aren't a practitioner yet? Susan, that is a great question. Part of me wants to say yes, that we have that availability, but I don't know if we have that availability on the website yet. I need to check in with the team because I know that it's directly tied to recertification. So I can check with them. If you haven't gone to magnacon.com and you haven't filled out the form that says, I want more information about MagnaCon, please do that today, Susan, because if you're not a practitioner, that's the best way for us to communicate that to you. And what I'll do is I'll get that information and send an email. If you could fill out
We've always had people come to MagnaCon that.
But she's talking about the online.
Yeah, I understand. And so that needs to be squared away. No problem.
Yeah, it does. It needs to be squared away because I haven't thought about it. Okay. How often do you need to get recertified? And that's from Kelly. Kelly, we used to require it every 2 years. We now require it every year. The reason for that is because we have learned so much. This industry is changing so incredibly rapidly, even from like legislation to usage. There's so much information. And then our machines change and our policies change. So to be able to work with MagnaWave, get the discounts you have, we require that you do the recertification and get those continuing education credits once a year. And it ranges from about $150, and it's done online, super simple. You can also in-house attendance to MagnaCon, like coming to MagnaCon counts as your recertification. So that is already, if you consider that's $150 you're not spending on that, that's included. And then you take a simple quiz. It's not a lot, but it is very valuable information for anybody who's doing a business and wants to stay, up in the know with everything, and also keep up with everything that's going on legislative wise. Also, I recommend that you join the AOPP. That's pmfpractitioners.com. We recommend that everybody does both of them. Ours is great because it's a little bit more in depth with our products and our marketing and everything that we have availability. We have a massive machine of things that we offer to people besides just the machine itself. But AOPP also has a really great interest in that What would you say, Dad? Like the legislative, that side of representing and keeping up with those issues, they'll even look at your state. If you are a practitioner, they'll look at your state and tell you what you can and can't do and what the state laws are, and like one off for anybody. And they're just
basically a
so
third party. The AOPP is a third party, and we've experienced this when there's been a question in a particular state. Pick one. Pennsylvania, Louisiana, wherever it may have been, and we would go in to defend that or answer those questions. The first thing out of their mouth would be, well, you're a manufacturer. You're just trying to sell machines. You want this changed for that reason, which is not necessarily, of course, we want to protect our territory or protect the industry. But so when the third party comes along and they're representing everybody, then it's carried with much better credence when we go to those, when it's necessary to go to the various states and get help for legislative issues. There's been things that we've been involved in that we've asked the AOPP to help us with, to
take over completely,
go to their board and do those kind of things. And so it works very well. So it's a great place as a professional moniker to be a member.
Yeah, go join the AOPP, keep certified with us, and you are really covering your bases in terms of being a PMF practitioner today. Becky asked, what is the name of the company, the insurance company that I recommend? Becky, there is like 4 in there. I can't remember. I don't want to say them over here because I can't remember their exact names. I don't want you to go to the wrong one. But if you go into log into on our website to the practitioner portal, there is like business information, insurance information, and all of them are listed with the explanation of what they do and how you can contact them. That is the best. And there's liability, there's machine insurance, all sorts of great stuff in there as well. And Leilani said the riverboat cruise is $10.40 and she booked it. Check.
There you go. Hey, I got to run. I have another meeting I have to go to, Elaine.
Oh, you came in late and you're leaving early. Okay, I see how it is. All right. I love you. Bye.
Thank you. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Take me out, Tony.
Take me out. Take me out, Tony. Tony is actually on the back end. He didn't just say that to be weird. Okay. Kathy Douglas said, when treating the disc issues, are treating lower and longer? Yes. When treating the disc issues, lower and longer is always good. I tell everybody with any issues, start lower. There's 3 things that are going to happen after somebody tries PMF for the first time. 1, they feel way better. Okay. 2, they feel nothing. 3, they are not feeling great. They actually are sick, or they're maybe a little crampy or whatever. So let's talk about which one of these is the worst thing that can happen as a practitioner. It's actually that they got nothing changed at all. That's the worst thing that can happen as a practitioner. I tell people, like, I would rather you feel better or feel worse. That's going to tell me something about, all right, if you're feeling crampy, and maybe that's going to tell me that you maybe had some toxins. We detoxed you. We did a session. I only did a short amount of time. Maybe I did 15 minutes, and this animal seems a little bit more struggling with their issue. That means they need more water, and we need to do less next time. And always want to come back. You always want to treat again, because all that's saying is the body is detoxing. That's a good thing. Healing hurts. Okay. So anytime an animal does that, I'm not afraid. And if I explain that to the owner and the trainer beforehand, like, we're working out the issue, the body is going to do what it needs to do to get the issue out. And sometimes that's detoxing. So allow that process to happen, but come back and do it again. And you will see that they will usually get that. Oh my God, I feel so much better feeling. So those are the 2 things. And if you have somebody who says, I felt nothing, then all right, I can do a full 45 minutes, or that animal didn't have any change at all. All right, I'm going to come in, I'm going to turn it up a little higher, and I'm going to treat a little bit longer and really get in there, because I know that the detox effect wasn't going to happen. So I always err on the side of caution when doing that first treatment, because I'd rather see how their body reacts doing lower and slower, especially with things like bulging discs. So then you assess, all right, one of these 3 things happened, and that's going to tell me more about where I need to go from here. Let's see. Oh, Cheryl says, if I only have a soul, how many treatments or minutes is the max per day? Well, that's a good question there, because everybody's body is so different. So if you're like treating very low on the soul, I mean, I've treated very low people for 45 minutes in the morning and 45 minutes at night. I generally say with any machine, you don't need to do more than an hour, even on any setting, but I have treated longer and slower for really, really chronic issues. But it was very low. So usually my go-to for anything is 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes at night, if you are really trying to tackle something. That's about the most you need to do. Okay, love the new affiliate program. Can you touch on this for us? Signed affiliate agreement the other day. Well, the new affiliate program is just making it easier for you all to be able to register leads with us, also send information to somebody who may be interested. We have a code that is in the end of everybody gets a code whenever they become an affiliate. And so that code can be put on in any of the forms on our website if you want to put that affiliate code. So if you want to tell anyone that code, they can use that, and that registers them to you on any of the forms on our website. So that's really, really cool. As well as we have tracking links that have your code built in, which again tell us. So if somebody comes to our website, they click a link, let's say from Leilani's page or social media, and it takes them to our web page. The only way we know that they came from Leilani is when they fill out a form for more information. It's going to automatically tag us back to her. So if they come to the page and they give us no information, we know nothing. But if they do use one of those links, that allows you to get some updates on what's going on if somebody's interested. So the idea, we're not multi-level marketing, but we do believe that referrals are great. And so we want to make sure that we are tracking those and that everybody's getting what they deserve. And that first and foremost, the people who are working with us, our practitioners, are getting what they deserve. So that is the point of the new affiliate program. My goal is by the end, by MagnaCon, that when you are become an affiliate with us and all the past affiliates, you are going to get a link that you will be able to send out to anybody who wants information. They'll put their information in. It'll register to them and that to you. And that way, that'll make it very simple. If somebody wants information, instead of having to ask for all their stuff, you just say, hey, I texted you a link, fill it out really quickly. I'll make sure that you get to where you need to be. So that's just, the goal is to really have all of that worked out. We also have websites. We have social media help. We have, our marketing team is incredible. Oh, here we go. My push that I do every time. Oh, I hope this isn't the one that I wore out battery. But the video books are here. It is, because my other one's at home. But here's the video books. I'm so sorry. These things are amazing. It plays music. This one's not charged because I use it all the time and show it to everybody. I do have another one that I just took to Arkansas, which everybody out there loves. It's pre-recorded. It's got 4 videos, like a small animal, a horse, whatever. It already loaded on there. What is MagnaWave PMF? And then we do those videos customized for you. So if you want a custom video, we can shoot it. Tony, who actually, my dad said, take me out, Tony. He can actually edit some really great stuff together for you. So if you are looking to market your business, this is a great way to do it. Marketing at MagnaWavePMF.com. There we go. Email marketing. That's the team. Will get back to you. Again, we build those websites for you. We have SEO plans. We have everything that you could need without having to reinvent the wheel on how to market. And if you are looking to start a PMF business, add to a PMF business, or grow your business, period, I would 100% recommend taking my business starter course. It's 4 weeks. It's available now for next month. The classes are every 4 weeks. So the idea of getting in there, working with other people, you submit some homework, you really get to watch. And I go through exactly the mistakes and the things that I learned over the last few years with my dad and I learned together that can help you get this done. Because for years, it was a 2-3 man band show between my mom, my dad, and myself. And that was, the first 6 years I worked here. So that was, that's pretty incredible. The stuff that we were able to do and automate and work together as a team is something that you guys can recreate. And that's really what I talk about in my business starter course, what to keep in mind and what to tackle next. Okay. Oh, hi, MagnaWave. Look, AOPP tuned in. Hey. Okay. So Kate says, I think you're talking about MagnaCon. In person is such a valuable experience. If you could swing it, I highly recommend it, especially if you're a new practitioner. The single best thing I did for my business when I was my first year was attended MagnaCon. You're so sweet. Thank you. Jackie, we cannot wait for you to attend either. Again, if you have a significant other, we do have plans for them to come to the social aspects of MagnaCon. Just reach out to your product specialist. Lori, do we have to reapply to be an affiliate? No, Lori, if you're already an affiliate, you're in. Now, there may have been an updated document that was sent out that some people, we updated some of the paperwork, but you're fine. If you didn't get anything, then you're fine. Let's see. Okay, Michelle says, okay, so they're talking about, I believe that you guys are talking about the, oh my God, there's so many questions. Where do you find the riverboat tickets? Kathy says it's on the MagnaCon website. Go to the register page. It's there. There's a link. Make sure that you pick the right date. It is the Friday of MagnaCon that we are going, so it doesn't default to that date. So just make sure that you pick the date, and the tickets are $10.40. Debbie says, how do you all stand on timing of sending out machines? Yeah, so Debbie, if you want an exact update on where your machine is, I would email your product specialist or give us a call, but we are catching up. We're catching up faster now than we have been. And we're doing the best we can. And again, if you are past the 4 to 6 week mark, which you are, we would be happy to send you a rental machine at no charge. Let's see. How often you should have a machine recalibrated, and what machine should be recalibrated? Melanie, asking that question is just like a car. How often should you change the oil on your car or update or rotate your tires? All depends on how much you drive it. Okay. So if you are driving your car and you are putting on, or you are using your MagnaWave and you're putting on between 500 and 1500 hours in small amounts of time, there's a very good chance you will have to get it recalibrated if it is a spark chamber device. Anywhere between 500 and 15 hours is usually where we see that. Some people they have to be recalibrated more because maybe they're putting on like 400 hours in a very short amount of time, like within a couple months. Like that is a high usage of a machine. And unfortunately, there is a giant explosion going on in these machines, and they just have to be recalibrated sometimes. I will say this. Having a consistent signal in a spark chamber machine is non-existent. Whatever PMF machine you have, if it is spark chamber, it is going to have inconsistent pulses pretty regularly. Not all the time, but pretty regularly. That is normal. That is what a lot of purists call like the natural erratic signal that PMF on Earth creates. It bounces back off of lactic acid. It bounces back from the swelling, the humidity, everything in the air can change that, as well as the way the magnetic field is. So that erratic of a pulse, erratic pulses throughout is actually many people who, are into the purest organic form, for lack of a better word, of what PMF is, when you have that electrical pulse, they believe that is a better thing than a static pulse. So I've never seen any of the studies that's true, but I've never seen that it's worse either. So I think understanding that, we get a lot of machines back where like they'll have one or two issues, like where it's a little bit erratic, and then it comes back here and it's perfect. And we're like, well, that's just the way PMF is. And sometimes it'll be more consistent in the beginning, but as the actual spark chamber breaks in, it gets a little bit more erratic. But if it's still comfortable and you're able to be comfortable, that's normal. It's if it is going up too high and you cannot turn it down. If you cannot turn the machine down anymore, that's when it needs to be recalibrated. If it's giving you a little bit of erratic pulse, that is an absolutely normal session. There is actually a company, I'm not going to say their name, but all of their machines do that. They're probably our biggest competitor in high power devices. They do that, and they sell that. That's why their machines are better than ours. So just keep that in mind. I know it seems a little bit weird, but that's how PMF works. But now with the digital devices, I've actually had erratic pulsing with the digital devices. It's much rarer because it's not such a pure form of electricity. It's actually a actual computer chip putting out that pulse. So it is a little bit more consistent, but that doesn't, and we've seen equal results. So it's just really about what you're comfortable with. But I think it's important to say that it's not ever going to be consistent if you have an analog machine. So recalibration means that you cannot turn the machine down anymore. The pins inside that spark chamber have gotten bigger and bigger, farther and further apart as that explosion has happened. So it's not able to jump into this like smaller area. They're not able to move back and forth. And that's when you cannot turn it down anymore. It's only at this setting, which again, there are machines out there that are set like that. You like the P3, like that, they're set that strong all the time on purpose. I don't know why, but that's the way they want to do it. So I think that's just something for people to keep in mind. It doesn't mean that it doesn't work at that strength. It just means that you don't have the play. That's when we want to recalibrate it. Woo. So, but I will say this, Melanie, I recommend that if you have a machine and it's an analog device, send it in once a year, regardless of how many hours. I would send it in once a year because we are constantly updating things. And if you send your machine in for repair, we don't just look at that issue. We repair anything and update anything that's going on in the machine so that it keeps you from having problems down the road. So if you are going on vacation, send it in for repair. If you're having a surgery and you're going to be not working for a while, send it in for repair. If you have the availability to send it in, it's great. We could take about a week. We do have the loaner program. So schedule it out. And do it right. That's the best way to take care of any electrical item you have, is to register your warranty, take care of it, and send it in for, regular maintenance like you would your car or anything that your livelihood depends on. Okay. Leilani says, how long would it take to produce a video book? They're in-house, Leilani. We could ship it to you now, fully loaded with the regular 4 videos, okay? And then it would probably take, depending on if you just wanted 1 new video or 2, like we could probably do that in 2 or 3 weeks, like get you the videos customized for you with what you wanted. Now we have some base videos for horses, and it's much easier if you use that content and then we put your stuff on the front and the end so that it updates with your business stuff. And we also put your logo here, and we put your logo, I think it's inside or on the back. So we actually, yeah, right here, we customize it so it's got your logo across it and your contact information. Top human videos to download for showing at a wellness fair. Terry, what are the top human videos to download? Okay, that's a great question. Our people probably aren't going to be staring at these. So I think that we have some videos in there that just show the blood flow treatments. It's very just a bunch of clips of the machine being used and little things about Dr. Myers. I know that there are some videos like that. There's also some on YouTube, but the problem is most of ours are very educational. So if you're looking for any educational videos on how to use an health fair, I would go to YouTube and search up MagnaWave and Dr. Myers, MYERS, and those go through those videos because they're excellent. Katie Battis says the class is amazing. Thank you, Katie. Phyllis, can you get the practitioner's discount on attachment purchase at MagnaCon? Phyllis, you can get the attachment discount, and there's other discounts. We have special discounts on special items the entire time. So you will get your regular discount at MagnaCon. Joe Marshall said, use my video book at a show for the first time this weekend, and it was worth the purchase price. I know. I love the video books. I wish I had mine, which played videos. I took my other one to Oklahoma. It must be still at home in my baggage. But you all literally, people would walk up to me and say, what is this? What are you doing? Because they had never seen anything like this before. We were at this huge buck and bull competition, and I would hand them the video book and they would watch it. And I would be able to get back to what I was doing, and they were passing it around. It's excellent. You get it back. It's a great way to reach out to people and then follow up with them. I love it. Okay, let's see. Leslie says, I missed most of today's meeting. I can only ever find much older office hours. Leslie, we really do. Tony actually breaks these down and posts them like a week later with like time code of every single thing that I talked about almost. But then also if you go to Facebook, like I think Kate says this, if you go to Facebook, there's a live tab on Facebook right at the top, and all of them are there. Let's see. Yeah, Leslie, you don't even have to go to the certified group. Well, you should be in it. If you're not, you really want to be in it. MagnaWave Certified Practitioners. It's the greatest PMF group on the internet. I promise you that. But if you also want to just watch replays of any of these videos, you can do that in the live section of our MagnaWave PMF corporate page on Facebook. Patty, how long does it take for recalibration? Patty, we do have loaner machines available if you would like one. And it takes usually about a week. Right now where we're at, it's about a week. If you get it here on a Monday, we get it back to you and ship it out before the end of the week. At least that's the goal, unless there's an issue going on. And we do have loaner machines for that period. But I like to go ahead and tell people to just schedule it if they can, because you don't want to wait until your machine breaks and you're going to a show and you're blowing up my cell phone or calling the office on a Saturday screaming and crying, but you haven't had your machine in 3 years. It's fine. But it makes it very difficult for us to get you a machine. So it's really important to plan these things, especially when you run a business. Okay. And did I get them all? I feel like you guys got really, really good at asking the questions right at the end. So, okay. So here's what we're going to do. Hold on. Wait a second here. All right. So this is what we're going to do. And it's a little strange. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give away one of these. So like Tony or Emily or somebody, can you all pick a number of the comments? And what we're going to do is we're going to take the number of the comments, and we are going to, that number that they choose, they're going to count down from all the comments from Facebook, YouTube, everywhere that people are commenting, and they're going to pick that number in our list. So if, let's say they pick number 28 and you're that number 28 on Facebook, that might be different because we are combining YouTube and all the other social media channels. But we're going to send you Wake Up the Happy Brain. I believe we have one signed by my dad. And then we're also going to send you, and this is a little unconventional, so if you don't drink, it's a great collector's item. But this year, the MagnaWave team went out and went to New Riff Distillery, And they got these awesome bourbon barrels, and we gave these out as gifts because, you know, Louisville is about bourbon. And if you look at the back, it says, oh, it's so hard to do, picked for you by Pat Ziemer, because it was. It also has our logo here down the side. This was all put on by the distillery. So this is super cool. This is actually, I've had people who love this. I don't drink bourbon, but it's for you guys. So whoever is that comment in the winner is going to receive one of these special, very special bottles of bourbon and this great book. So if you drink all of this, you're not going to wake up with the happy brain. Okay. So make sure that you enjoy this responsibly, and then read this awesome book signed and that my dad contributed to. He wrote a chapter in here. There's also a chapter in here about vibration, which is compares to our vibration oasis and wave oasis. It's just an excellent book. So let's see if somebody wants to text me, I will announce the winner. Let's see. Jeff Arfin. Jeff says, I'm here. I see you get in there, Jeff, right before the end. I see you. All right. So let me see. We're going to pick a winner. I don't know. Somebody is hopefully. Somebody is going to get me a winner. Okay. So they're going to text me in just a second. We're going to have a winner. We're going to have a number. We're going to have a winner. We are going to pick someone to win this awesome package from New Riff Distilling. Yay, I feel like Vanna White. And I believe that we may have a couple of these at MagnaCon for sale for people who want to purchase, or we may just give away a couple for the giveaways. Talking about giveaways at MagnaCon, we give away like over $50,000 worth of stuff. So it might be more than one machine, maybe two, could be more than that. Oh, there we go. And we also give away attachments, LZRs, I mean, everything, marketing packages. Like 9 times out of 10, people, they win something and they have a great time. So it's totally worth the money that you're going to put into this, and you can make it a vacation. I meant to tell you all that. If you stay Saturday and Sunday at the Gold House, or if you decide to stay in Louisville, you are going to get significantly discounted things to like the Muhammad Ali Museum, the Louisville Slugger Museum. All of that will have discount codes for you all to get tickets and go to those events after MagnaCon. So think about that. We're going to hand those out to all of the people who are attending, so you can make it a really nice weekend, and it's a beautiful weekend in Kentucky. Okay, Kate, I think we're going to have a bourbon tour that we are going to recommend for you. She said she wants to do a bourbon tour. I believe that there is a bourbon tour company that our marketing team has that everybody from MagnaCon, people who are there who want to sign up, will be able to do it. So just wait. We're going to get that for you. Okay, so here's the winner. All right, drum roll. Okay, Danny Cole, you are our winner. Congratulations, Danny. You are getting this super awesome New Riff bourbon signed by Pat Ziemer with our logo on it. This is we're only doing this once. This was our Christmas gift to some of our not distributors, our manufacturing partners. So it was just a great way to, live in the bluegrass. So congratulations, Denny. And you get this awesome Wake Up the Happy Brain. Again, don't do them at the same time. You won't wake up the happy brain. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. Get your MagnaCon tickets. Sign up for the business starter class if you haven't, and you need to, because you're just going to get a lot of this and me talking erratically with tons of information. And then, let us know, as always, if you have any questions or need anything. The trade-in program starts tomorrow. So that starts tomorrow, and it is open to people who want to trade in their machines and get the latest technology and be able to use it all. And again, you get a brand new warranty. You start all the way over. So all of that information will be available. There's a link in these comments if you want to get more information on the trade-in program. If you are a practitioner and you have one of these machines, you're going to get an email about it tomorrow. But if you aren't in there, go ahead and you don't have one of these machines, or you maybe purchased it from somebody else, I don't care. Just go ahead and fill that form out if you want more information on the trade-in program. Okay, congratulations, Danny. And I'm seeing everybody wants to go on the bourbon tour, so I'll make sure that I get that information in the mobile app before MagnaCon. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.